Last night you were somewhere that doesn't exist. You spoke to someone who wasn't there. Something chased you, or you flew, or you were back in a place from years ago that felt completely real until the second it wasn't. Then you woke up, and within 10 minutes, most of it was gone. Your brain built an entire world while you slept, ran you through it, and then quietly deleted it. Nobody knows why. Not really. And the longer you sit with that, the stranger it gets. Every mammal on Earth dreams. Dogs twitch in their sleep, their legs paddling against something invisible. Cats chirp and growl at nothing. Rats, when researchers let them run a maze during the day, replay the exact same route in their brains that night while they sleep, turn by turn, at the same speed, in the same order. Their brains are practicing something, rehearsing, running the maze again in a world with no maze. Even birds dream. Zebra finches learning a new song will replay the neural pattern of that song during sleep, note by note, refining it while they rest. The song gets better. Sleep made it better. This is not random noise. This is something the brain is doing on purpose. I find that deeply uncomfortable. Because if every brain on Earth is doing something this deliberate, this consistently, this universally, and we still cannot explain it, then we are missing something fundamental about what a mind actually is. The question is what? Sleep is not rest, not for your brain. While your body lies still, your brain cycles through stages roughly every 90 minutes. Most of those stages are quiet. Brain activity slows, the body repairs itself. Memories get sorted and filed. But then comes one stage that is nothing like the others. REM, sleep, rapid eye movement. In 1953, a graduate student named Eugene Azarinsky was monitoring a sleeping child when he noticed something wrong. The child's eyes were moving behind closed lids. Fast, jerky, deliberate, like watching something that wasn't there. Azarinsky connected electrodes and looked at the brain activity underneath. The brain was almost indistinguishable from a waking brain. The same regions lit up, the same electrical patterns fired, the visual cortex activated as if the eyes were open and seeing. The emotional centers ran hotter than they do during most of the waking day. The brain was not resting. It was working harder than it does during most of conscious life. And yet the body was completely paralyzed. Not partially, not loosely. A specific mechanism had switched off the motor neurons controlling the muscles. Full lockdown. The brain generating intense activity, vivid experience, strong emotion, while something made absolutely sure the body could not move. Think about what that means. That paralysis system had to evolve, which means there were brains before it. Brains that acted out their dreams. And whatever those animals did to themselves while lost inside a dream, whatever it cost them, was bad enough that only the ones with the lockdown survived long enough to pass that on. The dreaming came first. The paralysis evolved to protect it. Something in there is worth protecting. We still don't know what. The oldest theory is the simplest. Dreaming is how the brain processes emotion. During REM sleep, the amygdala, the part of your brain that handles fear, threat, and emotional memory, runs at full power. The prefrontal cortex, the part that applies logic, reason, and context, goes almost completely offline. You are running pure emotion with no rational filter whatsoever. This is why dream logic makes sense while you're inside it. A door that leads to your childhood school, which is also somehow a supermarket, makes complete sense until the prefrontal cortex comes back online and says, that is not how doors work. But here is what that combination, high emotion, no logic, actually does. It strips the emotional charge off memories. When something frightening or painful happens to you, the memory is stored with its full weight attached. The fear, the embarrassment, the grief, it comes with the file. During REM sleep, your brain replays those memories in a neurochemical environment completely stripped of the stress hormone norepinephrine. The memory gets accessed, the emotion gets processed, and when you wake up, the event is still there. But the raw sting of it has faded. Sleep is emotional surgery. Dreams are how the brain heals itself. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist at UC Berkeley who has spent his career studying sleep, describes REM as the only time the brain replays painful memories completely free of the stress chemistry that originally encoded them. Therapy, free, automatic, running every night whether you want it to or not. That should change how you think about a bad night's sleep. Every time you cut it short, every time you drink enough to suppress your REM cycles, you are skipping the surgery. The wounds stay open. They just don't bleed where you can see them. People denied REM sleep don't just get tired. They get emotionally brittle. Small frustrations become unbearable. Old wounds feel fresh. The processing stops. Everything backs up. But that is only part of it, because dreams do something else entirely. Your brain is a prediction machine. Every second of your waking life, it runs simulations, predicting what happens next, what people will say, what dangers are ahead. Most of that is unconscious. You don't feel it happening, but it never stops. It is what lets you move through the world without being blindsided by everything. Dreams, some researchers now believe, are that prediction system running without constraints. During waking life, the simulation has rules. It runs on what is possible, what is likely, what is actually in front of you. During dreams, those rules lift. The simulation runs scenarios that could never happen in real life. Impossible combinations, unlikely threats, strange social situations with no resolution. The brain throws things at itself it would never normally encounter and runs them anyway. In doing so, it gets better at handling the unexpected. This is why the most common dreams across every culture on Earth involve being chased, falling, losing teeth, showing up unprepared, or being unable to move. These are not random. These are the exact categories of threat and failure that a brain built for survival needs to rehearse. Predator, physical danger, social humiliation, unpreparedness, paralysis. Your brain is not tormenting you with those nightmares. It is training you, which means the nightmare that woke you last week in a cold sweat was your brain running a drill. That is a genuinely strange thing to sit with. There is a third theory, and it is the one that ties everything together: memory consolidation. During the day, your brain collects far more information than it can store. So during sleep, it goes through everything collected, decides what matters, and moves the important pieces into long-term memory. The rest gets quietly discarded. Dreams may be the noise that process makes. When the hippocampus in the brain's filing system replays the day's events for consolidation, fragments of those memories surface into conscious experience. They get scrambled with older memories, emotional associations, whatever the prediction system is running simultaneously. The result is the bizarre, non-linear, emotionally charged experience you wake up from every morning. The dream is not the point. The filing is the point. The dream is what that process feels like from the inside. This is why you dream about the thing you were anxious about, the person you ran into, the problem you couldn't solve. Your brain flagged those things as important, and important things get processed first. I find something quietly unsettling about that. Your dreams are not random. They are a map of what your brain decided mattered today, a record of everything it considered worth keeping, and you almost never read it. Here is the part nobody talks about. You are not always you in your dreams. Sometimes you watch yourself from outside. Sometimes you are someone else entirely. Sometimes you have knowledge you don't have in waking life. Or you are back in a place that no longer exists. Or someone who died years ago is standing in your kitchen, and you don't find that strange at all. Your sense of self, the feeling of being a continuous, specific person in a specific body, is a construction. Your brain builds it fresh every morning. And during dreams, before that construction is complete, the edges get loose. The self becomes flexible. The boundaries between you and not you blur. This happens every single night. That should bother you more than it does. Every night the thing you call yourself partially dissolves. And every morning you reassemble it, make coffee, and never think about what just happened. The average person has 4 to 6 dreams per night. You remember almost none of them. The ones that make it through are the ones closest to waking, or the ones charged with enough emotion that the brain flagged them for conscious review. The rest dissolve within minutes. Entire worlds, built, populated, experienced, gone before you finish your first cup of coffee. So why do humans dream? The honest answer is probably all of the above. Emotional processing, threat simulation, memory consolidation, self-boundary dissolution, the brain doing several critical things at once, and dreaming being what that process feels like from the inside. What is not debated is that it matters. Animals deprived of REM sleep deteriorate fast. Immune systems weaken. Emotional regulation collapses. Given enough time, the deprivation becomes fatal. The brain will do almost anything to protect its dream time. It steals it back in microseconds throughout the day. It crashes into it the moment you close your eyes. It guards this state more aggressively than almost any other biological function. Whatever is happening in there, your brain considers it non-negotiable. And here is what I keep coming back to. You have been dreaming your entire life. Every night since before you had words for it, thousands of worlds visited and abandoned. Thousands of versions of yourself dissolved and rebuilt. A running record of everything your brain considered worth keeping. Almost none of it survived to morning. There is an entire interior life happening inside you every night that you will never fully know. And the strangest part is that you are not supposed to. Your brain decided that, not you. If that question stays with you, if you find yourself thinking about it later tonight when the lights go out, that is probably worth paying attention to. Tonight you will lose consciousness for several hours. Your body will go still. Something in your brain will switch off your ability to move. And then the simulation will begin again. You will go somewhere that doesn't exist. You will feel things completely. You will be someone or something or several things at once. And when you come back, you will remember almost none of it. 6 years of your life will be spent in those worlds. 6 years of experience, emotion, fear, joy, and strange, impossible beauty. Most of it gone before breakfast. Your brain is doing something in there that it considers essential enough to paralyze your body every single night just to protect it. It just hasn't told you what.